Nothing drives me more crazy than hearing the advice given to men. Don't care what people think. Just do you. Do what makes you happy. All this other rhetoric. It drives me up the wall. Because it's not actually contending with the deeper issue. And that's what I want to talk about today. And then also want to provide you an alternative system that is actually going to give you power rather than simulate fake power. We have to discuss the first primal instinct for men. That is to lead. Not just to lead other people, but to be leaders of your own inner world, your mind, your heart, and your soul. To be oriented towards service, something bigger than yourself. And for someone to do this successfully over the course of their lifetime, they have to make sure they are razor sharp, that they are actually able to see within themselves when they are off target and when they are on target. And nothing is more of a direct reflection of that message than what people are saying. Now, here's the caveat to it. If you do not engage with what people are saying and really taking it in and knowing the process on how to actually separate the wheat from the chaff, in other words, the insights, the actual nugget of wisdom and truth that they are giving to you versus all the other nonsense, the projections, the shadow dumping, and everything that people usually do when they give their opinions and criticisms. Being able to distinguish between the two, discarding what does not matter and what is not true versus what is, and utilizing that to build your power to then further your mission, become a man of better service, and maintain your orientation towards truth, peace, and internal harmony. But when you give the advice to not care what people think, you are not contending with it anymore. Instead, what we will do is we'll tune and block it out. Even when internally someone delivers a criticism that within it had truth. And you know it because it stings, it hits you, and it's like a sharp knife. One thing that most men will actively engage in is the preservation of old stories that no longer serve, and instead subtract from your masculine power. For example, if let's say you've been a follower, you jump the bandwagon with who the popular kids are, or you tag along with the opinions of others, even though internally you don't agree with it. But nevertheless, you want to be involved and included, so you do. And you do this because there's fear, and this fear stems from the history of your life. Perhaps you were taught early on that unless you act a certain way, unless you go with the crowd, you'll be rejected, abandoned. And who the hell wants that? Now, when we're in our early years, we don't really notice this story being imposed on us. But along the way, we refine it and tweak it and optimize it so much so that it becomes your own and you can no longer tell the difference of how foreign this actually is. And so we live our lives defending that. And so when you're in the company of somebody that says, John, why the hell anytime I'm talking to you one-on-one, I get a certain impression of what you stand for, who you are, and I resonate with it and I connect with it. I feel I'm actually speaking to the more authentic version of you. But then all of a sudden when we're in different groups, you change. Your tune changes, the way you stand and move and laugh. You are not in your frame, you are in theirs. Now, when that's delivered, what's going to happen? Oh, buddy, it's going to hurt. And what it does is it attacks the story and attacks the wound that you have. It instigates the emotion. And most men cannot detangle the emotion and the story from their identity. They overlap them. So when someone hits the story, they hit you. And so naturally, we default. Well, protection mode. No, what are you talking about? Like you're just jealous. You're just jealous. You know, or maybe you'll make excuses for it. You'll make something else up. Often, worst cases, you agree to it, but you don't actually do anything about it. Very quick before we continue, if you are sick and tired of your current life situation, you are subject to your mind, your heart, your soul, your confused intuition. You don't know which way to go in your life anymore. And you're looking for a system that has been battle tested by me first, because I created it, then passed on to other men to see exceptional results. And not just in their overall quality of life, but their ability to have agency over themselves, the experience of internal certainty to know where they have to go, and also unshakable peace. You are no longer feeling you are constantly being pulled out of your frame. You are able to actually sit within yourself and be aligned. So if you're ready to be a part of it, click the link down below, join the waitlist for it. The first 10 are going to get a special perk, so you don't want to miss out on it. Internally investigate it. What is it that I am defending? Why am I defending this? Does it serve me anymore? Who gave this to me? When you can understand the constellation, how it relates to everything, you can begin the process of dissolving, letting go, accepting, forgiving. Whatever particular situation you're in will require a different thing. And what's most important is you will go through a period where you're going to hear what people are saying and you can't tell. You can't tell what's insight versus projection versus just someone being envious of you and trying to hurt you, put you down. You won't be able to tell the difference at first. And which is why most people don't even engage in it, or they don't even bother. But you have to go through this period of discomfort in order for you to actually now emerge on the other side as what? Someone who can masterfully hear what people are saying, separate his emotion from himself, because this is not an emotional game. This is a mission oriented towards truth, your higher purpose, your great act of service to yourself, to your family, to your community, and hopefully impacting the world in some way. You hear it, you capture the insight, you discard the rest. It means nothing. You don't hate them, you don't reject them, or anything like that, because you can understand. You can understand where it's coming from. It doesn't justify what they're doing, but it just shows that it is what it is. And you engaging in it doesn't serve you, doesn't make sense, doesn't align with where I'm going. And so what happens to your environment now? Not only will you be able to distinguish, but now people around you will change. They will see you not as someone easily shifted and moved, someone who clearly has a pain that they haven't met, making you essentially a target. Instead, you become this sovereign, the sovereign man, oriented by a higher mission, listens to his people. A king listens, takes it in, but can tell the difference between a fool and a wise man. Thank you for watching. And again, links down below for the waitlist. And if you're new to the channel or you're just not quite ready to join the community, I have a newsletter that I put out every single Sunday now. I used to do bi-weekly, but it's going to be every Sunday on insights, actions, perspectives that you can take to move you towards the sovereign path. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next video.